Hello everybody, welcome back to the Gaming Rex. I know I don't use a face cam, I think, ever? It doesn't matter. Just thought I'd do a quick little special video on the movie that's been going around the internet like wildfire, the Five Nights at Freddy's movie. So as many of you would know, I would hope at least, the FNAF movie released around a week ago, I think it was now, October 26th here in Australia. But just the other day I was able to go see it with some friends, and I thought I'd just give my views on the movie. So the FNAF movie, based on reviews that you can look at if you want, yeah, it's got some mixed reviews. Many people going, oh, it's not scary enough, and yeah, meh. But then you've also got hardcore FNAF fans going, it's the greatest movie of all time, better than Endgame and anything else. Basically, like, the main reaction, or main kind of thing I saw was, it's a good movie, but it's not the greatest movie. Don't have high expectations, because even though this thing has been coming out for 8 to 9 years, yeah, you shouldn't have high expectations. But, with all that out of the way, let me get into my actual critiquing of the movie. So, heads up, this may contain spoilers. If it does, I'll probably have that in the title or something, just as like a little spoiler warning. But, yeah, let's get into it. So, the FNAF movie is basically centered around Josh Hutcherson's character, Michael Schmidt, which for any eagle-eyed FNAF fans that have been in the community for a while would know that is one of the names, names for the pink slip that you get if you complete all 5 nights of the original game. And basically, he originally started off in the movie as a mall security mall cop. Basically got fired from there because of some overreactions, let's call it. Yeah, let's just go with overreactions over an event he may have seen. And that basically left him without a job, of which he's already financially not doing well with. And he's got a sister, Abby, of which their aunt is trying to steal from Mike, just so she can get some payment for having the child under her custody, something like that. Even though apparently, in America at least, I think, you don't get much like payment every now and then, because it's like a monthly thing. I don't know. I live in Australia, I couldn't care less. Basically, he's forced to go to Freddy's as a security guard for the night, of which he then meets on the second night, I think? I can't. First or second night? Second night. And he meets Vanessa, the police officer, and she basically kind of tells him a little bit of the story behind Freddy's. But her character is just basically more of like just a character to dump story and plot, make sure Mike knows what's going on. And for any FNAF, or not FNAF fans, anyone that's watching the movie that isn't like understanding the base knowledge of the franchise, so that way they can go, oh, okay, and that kind of thing. So from there on out, Mike has also got a babysitter for his sister for these things, called Max. And apparently she's working with the aunt to basically help the aunt get custody over the Abby as like a secret spy to try and see if there's anything she can use against Mike in a court case so she can steal the kid legally. But couldn't find anything other than he sleeps a lot. Because apparently when Mike was younger, his little brother was taken on a camping trip. And he uses what's in the movie called Dream Theory, which is a nice little callback to a original game theory from MatPat. But they use it in a different term, where it's basically, if you use certain stimuli and things like that, you can recall memories and things to extensive detail. And basically Mike tries to use this dream theory to see if he can find out who stole his brother. But yeah, that doesn't go very well for a majority of the time. I actually don't think it goes anywhere. Pretty much it doesn't go anywhere in finding out who killed / stole his brother. It just kind of adds as a little bit of a plot device to the actual movie in a sense, but not really the character reveal for who stole Mike's brother. Oh god. And yeah, it essentially goes from there. However, then after one of Mike's shifts, Max, her brother, and a couple of their mates are hired by the aunt to basically destroy the place after his shift, to basically get him kicked out of the job, and therefore he can't keep his sister. And that does not go well for any of them. Let me just say, this movie's a American PG-13, which would be an Australian M. I don't know what the rating is in other countries, but it's basically an entry horror film for newcomers into horror franchise. But let me just say, whilst it's very light-hearted in its horror themes for the majority of the film, when it gets to that part with the trespassers, the people that break in, they go dark very quickly. Keep in mind about that, for anyone going to see the movie that doesn't know that, it gets dark pretty quick, and then it goes back to its lightheartedness. But basically, they break in, and it does not end well for them. Mike comes back the next day and sees that it's been... Vanessa comes back the next day and basically goes, hey, people broke in, it's technically, legally your responsibility because you're the last person here. You better get this fixed up and get your act together, stop sleeping on the job. Because it all goes wrong for Max and the others, Max is no longer there to be a babysitter. So that means Mike has to take his sister into work. And basically he goes, right, you stay in the office with me and sleep, you don't go outside. And guess what Abby does as soon as Mike goes to sleep? Goes outside. So, What was very strange is it took a bit of a different approach to how I was expecting it to. Because they just decided to make the animatronics incredibly friendly in like the second act of the film, so that's like the midway point, I guess. And basically, the way Mike figures it out is because his sister's screaming. He thinks that something's gone wrong, so he races out the office into the main area, where he sees the animatronics all huddled together while Abby's screaming, and he goes in to try and save her with a chair. But it turns out they were just tickling her, so... Yeah, it turns out they just wanted to be friends with Abby. Don't really much like Mike, and apparently Vanessa knew all about this, because the next night, she comes in and she's just kind of staring at the animatronics. And then when they come to life, she does not seem surprised at all. Honestly, none of the characters seem surprised that the animatronics just are alive. Ooh, it's apparently like a normal occurrence, like Chuck E. Cheese, just, I don't know, is alive as well, apparently, probably. I don't know. In the end, they build a fortress out of tables and chairs with the animatronics. Yeah, you can see why I was not expecting that based on the games and the horror elements that you kind of don't get shown but get told in the lore. So I was expecting that from the that kind of thing in the movie based off the games, but they were it was a different way of doing things. I should have seen it coming because the storyline for the movie, the games and the books are completely different. But from there, basically, Vanessa gets all angry, and after giving out a little bit more information to Mike, something about the missing kids at the pizzeria, that kind of ties back into Mike's dreams, and apparently Vanessa knows about Mike's missing brother, before threatening to shoot him if he brings Abby back to the pizzeria again. Because the next night when they go there, apparently the animatronics do not like Mike, but want to have Abby as like another animatronic friend of theirs. So basically Mike has to go save his sister, of which we get to the final act. It's kind of like a little bit of a show off of the animatronics, Michael versus Machine. And then we get the big bad villain, the main villain, even though he has 5 minutes, I think, not even, of screen time. And it's the big bad of the FNAF franchise himself, William Afton, rocking the Spring Bonnie attire. Not Spring Trap, Spring Bonnie, because at this point he's a living man. And it turns out that William Afton had a daughter named Vanessa, the police officer. Would you believe it? So, yeah, they have a sort of little bit of a standoff, and it ends with how it does in the games, and technically the books as well, where Mr. Afton gets spring-locked and is thrown into a back corner of the pizzeria, never to be found again. And then Mike quits his job, Vanessa gets into a coma after her dad stabs her.
Are you challenging me?
And then it just kind of leaves with a bit of a hinting to go, oh look, you could get a sequel if you pay us enough money, sort of thing. Because there's a secret message at the very end of the movie after the credits. But yeah, for me, I found that the movie was enjoyable. As a FNAF fan, I was able to watch the movie and go, oh, look at all these hints, look at all of this. Oh look, Michael wakes up every day at 6 a.m, which is a little nod back to the original games where it's like, oh, from FNAF 1 to 4 you have to survive from 12 till 6. Pretty cool that they hinted at that. There was a ton more Easter eggs, especially very obscure references and Easter eggs, like a character in the movie that you actually don't see in the trailers, which was kind of cool. He was actually a fake animatronic or a fake rumored animatronic from the original games when they released, called Sparky the dog. So that was interesting to see that. I was thinking, it's been a long time since I've seen Sparky. Then they also had a little bit of a mini cameo, I guess, from Balloon Boy, but not as an actual animatronic, more like a little mini pop figure collectible thingy, mobile. And what's funny is there isn't many jump scares in the movie, so you should be fine there. But a majority of the jump scares that do happen is from the Balloon Boy final figure thingy. And it's kind of sad that he of all people got that, but what can you do? All in all, as a FNAF fan, it was a great movie. For people not very up to speed with the lore or the franchise at all, you'd probably need to go in there after watching maybe one or two of MatPat's original game theory videos to kind of get an idea of who some of these characters are, why is so-and-so happening, yada yada yada. Although they do kind of explain it in a way, but if you want to be able to fully understand it, definitely go watch some MatPat videos. Speaking of MatPat, he actually does get a cameo, which surprised a lot of people because he'd played it for almost a year straight of, oh, I'm not in the FNAF movie, they didn't invite me in. But yeah, it was really cool to see him there. And his character also has like a bit of an Easter egg in his name. The character was called Ness, which is actually an Easter egg to a controversial video from a couple years back from MatPat's Theories, where he said, Sans from Undertale is Ness from, where was it? It's a Nintendo franchise, I don't know. I literally only know like Mario. It was a cool little Easter egg there. But yeah, for non-FNAF fans, I suggest you go in with low expectations, but not super low. Kind of just like a switch your brain off for those not interested in the lore of the game. And apparently there was also, I saw a lot of reviews on like Rotten Tomatoes, Letterboxd, things like that, where they're saying, oh, the pacing's not the best, it's kind of off, but I didn't really see that. Perhaps that's just me not being the biggest movie critic. Don't really care, I just want to watch films because films. People saw that, kind of thought that. I mean, fair enough if you want to think that. I didn't think it, but oh well. But yeah, it's so far, as far as I've heard, it's made over 150 million in box office in the opening weekend. It's been a week now, so I have no clue how high that's gone from. look, just go in with low expectations, kind of switch your brain off for non-FNAF fans. If you're a FNAF fan, kind of leave it like half on, so that way you can go, oh, Easter egg there, there, and there. Honestly, I feel like for the FNAF fans, we're just happy to see it, because it's been 8 to 9 years since we've been waiting for the movie to finally release, because it was with Warner Brothers, then it was with Blumhouse, Universal, then directors kept quitting, and the script was changed constantly. Yeah, it was... Look, it's just so surreal to see that it's back. Not to mention Matthew Lillard, whilst doesn't play a major role, he still plays a good character. But yeah, with the... Actually, on the note of actors and things, I think most of the actors did really well. Some of the kid actors actually were pretty good. Like the main ghost child, I'm just going to call them. The only one that actually spoke. I won't say anything for somewhat spoilers, even though I've kind of just spoiled the entire movie. For a young lad, he does pretty good acting. Because, you know, with children, usually it's like a hit and miss. Sometimes you get good actors, sometimes you get bad actors as kids. Actors were brilliant. The set and the actual designs of the animatronics and things, I don't think you could have gotten them any better. Although I will say, based on what I had seen with the trailers and things, and just how you see the characters, I was honestly waiting for, like, say, Chica or something, for her face to kind of fall off. Because you can kind of see, like, a little outline around the face on the head, where it's just like, that looks like it could fall off at any like they could take it off or something to show a dead kid's head or something. But they didn't, which I think was slightly missed opportunity, but that's just me. But yeah, the set was brilliant. It was just amazing to see the FNAF pizzeria in real life. It's just amazing and so surreal. Yeah, other than that, the movie was a good hit. But probably one of my favorite parts was at the end of the movie when the credits start rolling and they played the Living Tombstones FNAF 1 song, which was... It's nostalgic. It was nostalgic to hear that again after so long. Because I haven't listened to that, so... Now, if you excuse me, I think I'm gonna go and listen on repeat to that song. So, yeah, with all that out of the way, go see the FNAF movie, please. If you don't like the FNAF movie, oh well. But yeah, please go see it. It is a good movie, if you're willing to kind of just turn your brain off slightly. But other than that, this is the Gaming Rex, roaring out.
Not today. Sorry. I said read the